Hello viewers, in my previous videos I discussed regarding the types of cloud, the service models and the delivery models. So in that Elias covered the SaaS model, that is software as a service. So today we're gonna see what is the concept of virtualization and how does it affects in cloud computing, and why is it mostly used, and what is the essence or what is the importance of virtualization in cloud computing. So to understand this, stay tuned to this video. So this is Ranjiraj and you're streaming on the Study Beast. So first of all, what do you understand by the term virtualization? So let us split this term, that is virtual and zation. Virtual means something that is not physical or something which you cannot access or which is an abstract thing, and virtualization means to create or the process of creating a virtual version of something. So it's like you will create a virtual version of something like kind of a server. You can create a desktop or a storage device or an operating system or even a networking resource. So it is just this concept. So when you do the virtualization, so you virtualize all these kind of stuffs, that is server, desktop, storage, networking device or operating system. So these are basically the types of virtualization we do. So how do we virtualize, or what and how technically we do this or implement this? So this is a technique which allows you to store a single physical instance of a resource. Means, for example, if you want to virtualize say a particular machine or a desktop, and now for example see that that particular desktop is at a remote site. Means it is like at some site say B, and that machine is physically accessible. Now if a user is sitting at location A, and if he wants to access that machine, but he cannot physically go and access it there, so he will take a remote connection of that desktop. That means it will like create a virtual version of that one. So wherever he connects, he can access those physical instance of that resource, and this resource can be accessed by many customers, vendors, or many of the organizations. It happens, and it does mainly by assigning a logical name to that physical storage. Like for example, if that machine is of Windows, then one particular logical name like an IP address would be assigning to that particular physical instance of a device, and it will be provided a pointer so that whenever that request to that resource is accessed, it is demanded and it can be easily accessed. So this is the concept and the technicals of what is the virtualization. Now there are four main types of virtualization which is possible in cloud. So first is the hardware virtualization. In this, you will create hardware version of a desktop or some PC. Like you have the base, what you can say, the base PC or the base machine. Moreover, it is called as the host OS or the host machine, and on that you create the guest machine. So that's basically deals with the hardware virtualization, and OS virtualization in that on top of one virtual service. Like for example, if a PC is there and it's working on Windows, then if you want to test or run a Linux operating system, then you can virtually mount and install it over that Windows machine. Like you have the VMware and other Citrix receiver for that. And mainly this OS virtualization is mainly done to study the interoperability among different operating systems. If any kind of securities or threats are there, if any kind of bugs are there. So in order to study and understand, we do the OS virtualization. Next, the server virtualization. In this, we mainly create the virtual version of that server system, which is there at some particular instance, so that whenever demanded, that particular server is accessed and not by physically going and accessing it there. Next, we have the storage virtualization. In storage virtualization, we have one particular physical instance of that device. Then we assign it and split it logically to different machines so that it can be accessed anywhere, anytime, at any place. So that was the four main types of virtualization. Next, we move on to this diagram. This is for the virtualization. So in this, you have a vCenter, that is the virtualization center. which have two components, that is application management and infrastructure management. This mainly deals with the application and this mainly deals with the infrastructure. So application is any kind of software which you need here, and this infrastructure mainly deals with the hardware kind of stuffs, like the desktops or PCs, laptops. So that things are included here. Next, this is the whole VMware infrastructure. So this consists of in this application management you have app v services, like you have the virtual services which provide you with the features of availability, security and scalability. These three are there, means you can scale and you have ample of security and it is available anytime. Next, down when we go to the infrastructure, that is when you have the hardware, you have the infrastructure V services, like you had the app V services. We have a V computer, that is virtualized computer, V storage, virtual storage, V network, virtual network, and you have some cloud services for accessing it easily over the cloud. So this is the virtual data center OS from the VMware. So everything in this is like virtualized. Not a physical instance of this is or present in this virtual environment, but somewhere at some point of time it is there so that you can access it anywhere. Now you have this services running over this, that you have the .NET service, you have the SaaS service, that is software as a service, then you have the Windows, Linux, J2EE, Java, enterprise applications or enterprise editions. Next you have the desktop and the application. So these are some kind of things which rule over this. Next, you have this two types of cloud, that is on-premise and off-premise cloud. So on-premises, whenever in the organization you want to access some kind of resources. So these are virtually accessed over by this providing within the walls of the organization, not going outside the organization. And off-premise, if some critical resource is there, then that would be put in the on-premise. If that is not critical and it's not on the high priority, then that is put over the cloud, and that is called as the off-premise cloud. So this was all about the virtualization. Now a small concept regarding how this virtualization works. So we mainly have cloud service providers which we when pay money it would give us some services when demanded. Now for example, if suppose this cloud service provider, if tomorrow their new latest version is released and then you have to buy this, but today you have buy the recent version, but tomorrow an updated version of this cloud is there, then you have to again invest money on that and you have to purchase. So that is not practically impossible for each and every organizations, and they will also not do. So for that they do virtualization. So by means of virtualization they get access to that physical machine, and on that physical machine they can access any of the hardware, software, like storage, networking and all kind of things which are available on that particular instance of that machine. So that was all about the concept of virtualization in cloud computing. So this is most important nowadays in the organization. Like many of the things happen, you have the service virtualization in that, which mainly deals with the service. You have the proxies, JDBCs, controllers, and many kind of things. Mutex, you have monitors, you have. So all those kinds of things which deals with the OS and the kernel can be achieved with the help of virtualization. A broader picture of this is the service virtualization, which will be moreover to a service when you want to access one particular service. Now, this is mainly used in the banking domains and banking application. So, well, that was all about the service virtualization and the virtualization in cloud computing. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching this video.